What's up YouTube fam? Back part 2. We're taking the carbs out today to clean them. As you can see, I've already taken them out, but I will show you how to do it. First of all, you need to unclip your fuel hose from the bottom of the tank, and also the fuel levels electrical switch, which is not that one, this one here, clips into the bottom of the tank, okay? Then undo these two bolts at the back of the tank. There's rubbers that go inside them. There should be. Mine don't have them, but they do go in there. Undo these two. Like I say, undo the fuel pipe, and then you have to move the tank slightly this way, and then lift it up because your fuel tap, it sneaks under here. Yeah, you don't want it, you'll just end up catching it in the frame. So once you get your fuel tank off, you probably won't have this stupid rubber that I have. But anyway, you will have this hose which goes from your cam cover and it hooks into your airbox right about here. Yeah, so you need to take that off to get your carbs passed. Then you need to get a JIS screwdriver and start undoing the clamps. These clamps here. Yeah, this is the way they should go. This isn't the way they were on it when I got it, but this is the way they're meant to go. So first of all, unscrew all of them, and then the airbox side, you've got the same, 4 of these, unscrew them. And what you want to do is come back. Well, I take off the chrome covers off the side of the airbox. You don't really have to, I don't suppose. But you see on this side, see where my finger is? There's a bolt that goes through there, and it goes into this airbox. And also on this side, where is it? There, see that red lug? The bolt that goes through there, also into the airbox. So what you do is you undo them, and then you can pull the airbox back to get these clips off the back of the carbs. Yeah, pull the airbox back. Also disconnect the TPS from the side of the carbs, because you'll need to do that to get the carbs out. So once you've disconnected the back clips and the front clips, all 4 in each, your carbs will be pretty loose, but you'll still be connected to your throttle cables. Whatever you do, don't take the throttle cable out at the carbs, because it's an absolute pain in the arse to get it back in. What to do is to go up to your switch gear, undo the 2 screws in the bottom, and then in here you can see where the cable sits. Ignore this, this is for the heated grips or something, I don't know what the hell that is. But yeah, the cable sits in this little slot. There's one there, push pull. And this one, my other Bandit's got just a pull cable, so don't know if you actually need both of them. Somebody's filled this with grease for some reason, not a good idea. Clean all that out, because it'll just end up sticking. Your throttle will stick. It's not a good idea, it could be pretty dangerous to be honest, so give that a good clean out. If you want to put anything in there, give it a quick spray of some graphite spray. That'll lubricate it, and it's not greasy, so it won't. So you can see all the shit that's stuck to it in there, you know. You don't want that. Anyway, take your throttle cables off. They come through the headstock on this side. They come through this hole here. Obviously come out here, and then they go into the top of your carbs. So just go canny. They also go around the front of your fork legs, and they clip into this little clip here. Okay. So take them out of the clip, obviously, and then just feed them through one at a time. You'll get them off. Leave them attached to the carbs, they're not going to do any damage. There's also the choke lever, which is a cable, and what I did with that was I just took it off at the carb. It's easy enough. You can actually take the carbs out and then take it off if you want, or you can just take it off. It's easier with the carbs out, but the cable's got enough play in it so that you can get the cable out, like over here. Once you've slid your carbs out, your carbs slide out this direction, yeah. So once you've done that, like I say, disconnect the choke cable, and then you'll be left with just the carbs. Now my carbs were absolutely filthy, so I degreased them, heavy duty degreaser all over with a stiff brush. Left them in it for a while, and then I pressure washed them. A lot of people say don't pressure wash carbs, but there's no reason not to be fair. It doesn't damage them in any way, because you're going to be taking them apart anyway to clean them. So it's not as if you're going to have water sitting in your carbs, you know what I mean? I also took the opportunity to put some plastic bags over these, because a small bit of like crap down in here, it's just, I don't know what it was from. It's maybe an oil leak from either possibly the top cam feeds or the bottom cam feed. I've not investigated it yet, because like I say, I've just got the bike. That's the bottom cam feed there, possibly leaking out of there. There's O-rings in them. There's also O-rings in the top. They can go hard over time and possibly cause a leak. Or what else happens is, if you've had previous monkey owners, they'll strip the threads in these because it's just an alloy, and then they'll leak. Okay, so that's the carbs out. Now let's go inside and we'll take them apart. Alright, welcome back. We're inside now. As you can see, cables are still attached. Excuse all the crap everywhere. They're still attached to the carbs, and you can also see I've taken off the fuel hose at the bottom, and I've also given these a really good clean, because they were absolutely filthy. And I mean absolutely filthy. They were like black. But anyway, they're not anymore. So we shall delve into them. You probably notice the screws in the back. I've already taken the screws off the float bowls just to save some time. Okay, so float bowls off. Have a look inside. Yeah. See that brown crap in there? That needs to come out. That's like fuel varnish and just residue or rust at the bottom of the tank or something along that lines. So you need to give that a good clean. Get rid of it all. Either use carb cleaner or like a light grey Scotch Brite, something like that, with some degreaser. Be careful of these rubber seals. You don't want to damage them, or your float bowls will leak, and then you'll have to take the carbs out again and put new seals in. You don't want to do that, do you? No, I didn't think so. So these float bowls, like I say, I took them off previously. Oh, that one there, it's pretty dirty as well. They're all pretty dirty. Well, not the worst I've seen. I've seen them with like green bloody coating on them. But you can see the little brown bits in the bottom. That's just, like I say, little bits of rust out the tank or something along that lines. Yeah, that one's probably the worst. But that's because it's on the left-hand carb. And as the bike sits on its side, obviously that carb is nearer the ground than the others. Right, here you are. You're inside here. You've got your main jet, which is this one here. This is your main jet. And here is your pilot jet. These are your floats. And you also have your float valve, which is, if I take one of them out here, take this one out, you'll see on the bottom, see that? Crapphotography.com. That brass thing there. Come on, focus, god damn it. See it in the centre? That hooks onto the top. And in the bottom of it there's a little rubber. And that rubber goes in here. Now, what can happen with Bandits is, see the small rubber in the bottom? That can perish or crack, let fuel bypass. So if it has, get yourself another O-ring, fuel resistant one obviously, stick it on, and then that sits back in there like so. Okay, so like I say, pilot jets pilot jet goes in here. Yeah, you'll need a decent screwdriver. Don't use cheap shit or stuff out your toolbox. Get yourself a decent, proper screwdriver, such as this bad boy, or one that fits down the hole would be even better. Where is it? I don't know, but I have one that fits down the hole. And then, well, there it is. This one here, as you can see, it's nice and sharp. There's no missing bits off the edge of it, etc., etc. And then obviously put it down the hole. You'll find that it's a screw head, obviously a flat head, and then just turn it till you find it. Now go really canny, because if you wreck the heads in these, which is easily done, your carbs are absolutely fucked. You'll really struggle to get it out. So thankfully mine were okay. They usually are okay unless some ape's been in there and tightened it up like as tight as you can possibly fucking get it. So get them out, because guaranteed, if the bike's been sitting for any time, this bike's been sitting for 6 years. Here's one here. Here's one I prepared earlier. As you can see, the head on it isn't exactly huge. Yeah. So you want to get that out, and then how to check it is to put it up to the light, and you should be able to see light through it. You can just see a little bit through that one, but I suspect it's still needing cleaned, because the hole should be bigger than that. Also, I have some other ones here. This one here, as you can see, that is completely blocked. Now, this is going to be the cause of why your bike won't start, because the pilots are clogged, or if it does start, it'll run like crap, right? So those 4 little jets there, what you need to do is put them in some carb cleaner, give them a good spray with the straw-like thing that goes in the end of the carb cleaner. Give them a good spray through with that, and failing that, use a bit of wire and just poke the wire through gently until you remove all the crud that's in there, yeah, and then blow them out with an airline. Once you've done that, you need to get your carb cleaner down this hole where your pilot jet is, spray through there and check that it comes out. There's a hole in here at the top, I believe. Where is it? I probably have to open the carbs a bit. Now let's see if we can see it. You should see carb cleaner coming out of one of these holes in here. If it doesn't, then you need to either put air through it or soak it in carb cleaner and put air through it until you do get carb cleaner coming out the other end. So we'll take these off. That's number 2. Oh, bummer, just dropped the needle. When you get these needles out, okay, check the end of them. These ones are rubber. You can see it's got a sharp, straight edge on both sides. That's what you want. When they start wearing on the seat, you'll notice that there's a slight indent on them. Yeah, maybe 2/3 of the way up or wherever they sit. And if that's the case, you need to replace them, right? So there's that. What else do you need to check? Check in here and give them a damn good clean with carb cleaner. Put carb cleaner through all of these little nozzles. Yeah. Spray it through all of these and get rid of all the crap that's in there. And then also, wait a minute, I'll get these 2 off. 1. Come on, come to daddy. 2. And also check this rubber on the bottom. Make sure it's not split or anything like that. That'll be another world of pain. Okay, so once you've checked all the rubbers, cleaned all these jets in the bottom, then you can turn it on its side, and you will see an unholy amount of crap in there. That was my fault from when I washed them. See it all sitting in the slides? All this stuff here. Ooh, yuck. So you need to clean that out. And then you need to also get your carb cleaner. Spray it through these little jets here. And that should clean your carbs out, hopefully. Then all you have to do is put them back together. Put them back together and they should run, like I say, if you're jetting up for a race pipe or something along that lines, you're going to need bigger mains generally, and possibly drop the clip on the needle. I'll get into the top diaphragms and I'll come back once I've unscrewed them. Right, there's 2 screws in the top of the diaphragm. They are Phillips crossheads, like so. So you want to undo them. When you're undoing them, undo this one first, and then when you're nearly undone this one, put your hand on top of the carb because there's a spring underneath it which will push the top off. There's also, under here, this is your vacuum for balancing the carbs, or one of. You will see there's a little black O-ring. It's extremely easy to lose that black O-ring, and then you'll spend hours of endless fun trying to find the bloody thing. So, take your diaphragm cap off, looks okay in there. I'm just doing one of these, by the way. There's a spring inside which goes to the top of the needle. That sits in there. And then we can take the diaphragm off. Sometimes they can get stuck in this groove, so if you just go gentle with it, don't go fucking pulling it too hard, and then you can take the diaphragm out. Once you take the diaphragm out, you'll see it's connected to the slide, and that part at the bottom, this needle, as you can see, in here needs cleaned. It's pretty dirty. It doesn't take much crap to make a mess of your fueling. I'd also take that O-ring out, give that a blast with carb cleaner down that hole, and you should be golden. Right, I'll move these carbs out the way, and I'll just take one of the needles apart to show you what we're talking about. One needle. So what you do is just tilt it upside down. Out it comes. I've seen a few different variations of these depending on whether they're dynojetted or not. This is not dynojetted, this is a standard needle. You can tell a dynojetted needle because the bottom part of it is usually narrower. You can see there we have the spacer on the top, then you have the clip, then you have another like plastic bushing thing, and then below that you have a washer. So what we'll do is we'll just take this off. Remember which way they go. And then we'll take these off. The washer comes out the bottom, as does this spacer here. It should slide off. It looks quite stuck. However, if you look at the needle on a dark background, you can see that there's grooves in it. And this clip here is in clip number 4. It's like a C clip. Oh, there we go. There's a C clip, and to get it off, what to do is you get this white plastic thing out. Pull that down. I'm not going to do one-handed because I'm just going to end up breaking it. But what you do is you just get the C clip, put it on top of the table, and just push the needle down, and the C clip will come off. Put your hand over the top in case it pings up into another dimension. They're kind of prone to that. So needle clip number 4. This camera's garbage. It's where it should be. So we'll just leave it as it is, and I'll put this back together. You also need to have a check for wear on the needle, and you can usually see it. There'll be a line and a slight indent round about here, And what it is where it sits in the carb body down there. It'll sit in there and it'll vibrate and it'll just wear it, and it'll wear a little groove in the side of it. If that's the case, change your needles, because you'll be jetting it forever trying to sort the problem. Just change them, buy a new set. They're still available. It'll save you a lot of grief. So like I say, these are in clip 4. That's fine, that's where they're meant to be. I've got a pipe on this Yoshi fuel system, so I will be upping the size of the main jets to a larger size. And you can tell the size of the main jet by looking on top of it. This one's never going to focus to see, but on top of there you will see a number. These are 102s, which is standard, so I'm going to go to 120s, and I'll try them. They should be perfectly okay for just a pipe with a standard airbox. You can bugger about with the air screw and the needle heights and all the rest and just leave the standard jets in, but it's an uphill battle if you ask me. You're better off just changing them out for the right jets, and then, like I say, replace the jets. They just unscrew. Yep, replace them all. Don't replace 3 of them or anything ridiculous like that. And like I say, spray a carb cleaner. Usually cleans up any gunk that's down there. And then put them back together. Now down this slot here, that is your air mixture screw. Now what you want to do with that is, you want to get your little screwdriver that I had 2 minutes ago, put it down the hole. Oh, wait a minute, I'll just get it in there. Oh shit. Put it down the hole, like so. And then start to tighten it. Tighten it all the way down, but don't go mad. You'll feel it seat at the bottom. Once it seats at the bottom, stop. Don't try to keep turning it or you'll wreck them. And then what you want to do is turn these out. These are out 2 turns at the moment, so I'll probably leave it at 2 turns, see how it runs at that. If it needs more air, I'll stick it another half turn out. If it needs less air, I'll turn it in a quarter turn, half turn. Usually go a quarter turn at a time or a half turn at a time, because they're pretty sensitive. But like I said, when you turn them clockwise to seat them, don't go daft. If you break them in there, you're in a world of pain. Again, your carbs are going to be pretty much trash because you're going to really struggle to get them out. Also adjust them all the same. So if that one's 2 turns out, that one's 2 turns out, that one's 2 turns out, and that one's 2 turns out. Okay, so that's the basics of it. Like I say, carb cleaner is your friend. Don't be shy with it. And always clean your pilots, because guaranteed they'll be blocked. Well, at least 1 or 2 of them will be blocked. The bike's been sitting for any time, like this one has. So I've got 2 that are fully blocked pilot jets. These little bad boys here. I've got 2 of them that are fully blocked. The other 2 are just partially blocked, but they're still blocked. And like I say, that will not help your bike start in the slightest. Okay. Hopefully this has been a help to you. Obviously, putting them back together is the same process. Check your rubber seals here. If you have them off for any time, maybe just put a little bit of like petroleum jelly or something on it just to soften them, so that when they go back on, they seat properly. Yeah. And also make sure you get all the crap. See all this like stuff here? Get all that out with carb cleaner and that, because that'll just stick in your pilot jets and you'll be doing the job again in no time. But you can see yourself, that's not going to do any engine any good when it's got crap like that stuck in it, you know. So get yourself a couple of tins of carb cleaner. Should be enough for a set of carbs, and crack on. If any of your screws for putting your float bowls on are like a bit chewed up in the head, let me see if I can find one. Yeah, these screws here, if they're starting to twist, they're like getting chewed, replace them. Because if you tighten them up, they might well tighten up, but trying to get them out again will be a nightmare. Either that, replace them with screws, or replace them with small Allen head bolts. Allen head bolts are what I usually go for, stainless ones. They last longer and they're better. And like I say, put it all back together. This here adjusts your tick over, this screw. So once they're back together, and if you find it's like running below, I don't know, 1,000 revs or 1,200 revs, whatever it's meant to be, you can adjust it with this. And also you can use this when you're balancing your carbs. I'm not going to go over balancing carbs today, but I might once I've had these cleaned out. Okay, so that's carb cleaning 101. Hopefully it's been some use to somebody out there in YouTube land. If it has, get down the bottom and subscribe and like, you mofos. Right, I'll leave you with it. That's it for today. Bye.